Right, this is a quick walk around video for a Saab 9.3 convertible. This is the diesel linear version, finished in black with 55,000 miles recorded. Just going to pan around the car for you. Sorry if the shadow's getting longer this time of year. The car's very, very nice indeed, with only the odd, very minor external blemish on the car in terms of kind of the odd tiny little stone chip here or there, but they are very few and far between. What I'll do is I'll just do a quick walk around with the hood up, and then I'll put the hood down, show the hood in operation as well. Obviously it changes the look of the car when the hood's down quite clearly. Lenses on the car, all very, very clean indeed. Obviously new style grille on these later ones. Very, very few stone chips on the bonnet. Any marks there you can see is actually just stuff coming off the thistles locally. They just rub off. So just come onto the dashboard, but I can't really see any stone chips of any note on the dashboard, the bonnet at all. Side of the car, if I come around, come around the back here, so the sun doesn't get in the way of my shadow. But the side of the car is incredibly clean. There's no indentations on there at all. Hood on this side is unmarked, works absolutely perfectly. You can see obviously fold marks, but they're not through, they're just fold marks, which is quite normal. That's obviously when the roof goes down. And then the back of the car itself. It's a very, very good looking car. And then down this side of the vehicle, again, really, really clean and crisp. I can't see any car part dinks or indentations on any of the panel work. Alloys are in lovely condition. We'll just go around this way so the sun's behind again. Just do that wing. I'll come back to the roof in a second. But it's really, really clean and crisp. And roof on this side. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Right, well, I'm setting the car now. Just going to show the roof in operation, just show it all working absolutely fine. So just push the button down. Whoops, daisy, turn around. You can just see it folding up at the back there. So I've got a shaky hand with my hand holding the button at the same time. I do apologise. And there you go. There we are with the roof down. It gives obviously better access to the interior of the car, which is in absolutely super condition. It really is. Leatherwork's really nice. Whoever's had the car previous to us has kept the car in really lovely condition. If there's a proper 2+2, you can get people in the back, unlike some convertibles where really the rear seats are a bit of a joke. Just come to the passenger side as well. Again, all in really nice order. Colour combination works really, really well on this car. It's a very, very nice looking car indeed. But so the interior just looks absolutely fantastic. Just quickly pan around the car with the roof down, so you can just see. Obviously, it changes fundamentally the whole look of the car. And this is obviously what convertibles are all about. And there goes my shadow, unfortunately. So let's just try and come around this way a little bit. It's a truly fabulous looking thing. It's very, very nice. Colour combination works beautifully on the car. And because we're basically effectively Honda specialists, we don't put them up very expensive than on Hondas. We move them on relatively quickly, but this is a lovely example. Right, so inside the car now, obviously engine's running. Slightly less glare here as well, which is rather nice. And just to quickly show you down here, got the owner's manual pack there, and obviously the locking wheel and that key for the car as well, so all good and intact. The dashboard, the interior is in wonderful, wonderful condition. Beautifully built cars, the Saabs, they really are. But everything working really nicely on the vehicle. So the video really doesn't do justice to just how nicely kept the vehicle has been. Multifunction steering wheel, all in very nice order. All the leather work on the steering wheel really nice indeed. Going into the dashboard there, you can see engine's running, 55,793 miles. and there's no warning lights on the car, obviously apart from just the low fuel light there. What will follow in a couple of seconds will be a brief road test of this very car. Right, there's a quick road test for a Saab 9.3. This is a convertible car. The car's registered DY09VAA, and mileage at the start of this brief road test is 55,780 miles. The reason we do the road tests, as I say in pretty much all of them, is we're now basically selling to customers from all over Europe and all over the UK, obviously, and we just want people to see the cars in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, if there's any issues with the vehicle, I can let you know prior to coming to us. Road tests also done on the same roads, the roads just outside our business, so it should be representative of what any road test should sort of feel at the time. Worth pointing out, we're predominantly a Honda specialist, and this car came in on part exchange against a Honda CR-V recently. And it's been kept very nicely. It's very good condition overall. Hopefully this video should come after in due course an appraisal video of the vehicle as well. Inside the car is really, really nice, kept very nicely indeed. All plastics seem to be in very, very good order. Engine of the car, to start the mechanical side, it starts first turn of the key. There's no flutters. The idles nice and solidly. There's no warning lights on the car, just obviously low fuel warning light currently. There's no warning lights related to the engine or anything else actually for that matter. Engine pulls very strongly indeed. Reportedly gives very, very good economy, although obviously I've not driven the car far enough to say that with any great certainty, but it's always been a very efficient engine, and from personal and previous experience of the car, or these cars rather. Engine goes through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch of the car is very smooth in operation. Clutch in, clutch out. There's no change in engine note. There's no vibrations. The clutch bites very, very nicely indeed. And as I said, actuates exactly as it should. Clutch then runs through into the 6-speed gearbox. So obviously with 6 speeds, you're looking to sort of gain massively on economy on these things. The linkage itself is exactly as it should be. I can't detect any sort of noticeable wear in the gear linkage of the car. Hopefully when the lights decide they want to change, then we can actually see that in operation. But it all feels exactly as it should be. The gear change is very different to what I'm used to in a Honda. It's slightly longer in the throw, but the synchro mesh is all very good, and the linkage in terms of kind of its finding its way home is exactly spot on. But I can't. Every gear. Oops, someone dropped something. Every gear selects really, really nicely. There's no bulking or feeling that there's any kind of wear in that linkage at all actually, so all seems in very, very good order. So in terms of kind of the powertrain of the engine, sort of engine, clutch and gearbox, all very, very good indeed. The car tracks absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering wheel of the car. It seems very, very kind of solid and nice on the road. Rides very, very nicely actually. It's a long time since I've driven one. I've just remember how just how nice and smooth they are to drive. It's very much kind of a cruiser. So it's not a sports car ultimately. It's a very, very nice, very pretty looking convertible. But it is a car you can imagine going a long, long way and being very comfortable in doing it as well. Suspension doesn't drum up any noises other than what it should, so you can hear it going over the bumps. But what I'm not getting is any kind of aftershocks, as I like to call it. These sort of little rattles, or normally it's things like kind of little link rods, little drop links, that kind of stuff, anti-roll bar links, and suspension struts. But as I said, it just feels very, very solid indeed. Brakes on the car really good. I've hit the brake pedal a few times. It all feels nice and solid. It pedals right to the top there. I I can't feel any vibrations or pulsing to the back to the brake pedal, which is again a good sign in any car. What's noticeable actually as I'm driving along is just how quiet this thing is. This is as quiet as any saloon car I've driven for a long time. You know, the utter lack of wind noise is absolutely incredible, to be fair to it. And it's a sign that the hood must be in good condition, and certainly all its seals. I mean, I know it works perfectly, and hopefully in due course of the video showing the outside of the car will show that in operation, but it's just how quiet this thing is actually on the move. Very, very impressive actually. Looking around the interior of the car, clearly the last owners were, you know, fastidious in their ownership of the car, and have kept the vehicle very, very nicely indeed. The interior plastics, the seats, everything absolutely top notch. Because although, you know, we're Honda specialists, anything that isn't a Honda we do sell on very, very quickly and at a much lower price than its realistic market value. It's not because there's anything wrong with the car, it's just that it doesn't fit our business model with Hondas. Quite often if you see a car that's cheaper than others, you know, there's always that feeling that, you know, they're hiding something, or there's a reason, or its condition isn't very good. That's not the case here. It's just a car that, you know, it doesn't have a Honda badge, so it's not something that we're keen to hold on for too long. But it is, as an example of one, very, very, very nice indeed. You know, it's only a couple of minor external marks which I picked up on the previous video, which would, you know, certainly sort of give you an idea that it's done the miles that it's done, or that it was the age it is, because certainly looking inside it's incredibly fresh. I have pressed pretty much every button in the car. Everything's worked absolutely as I would expect, which is always nice to see. I'm just going to do a couple of other checks whilst I'm on the move as well. Let's just get the air coming out. So I've got, yeah, lovely cold air coming out of the vents down to its maximum. So make sure we maximise that. That's absolutely ice cold air conditioning coming out of there as well. So ventilation's all absolutely spot on. Looking at the main dashboard, all in lovely order. Only tiny bit wear on the electric hood button there. It's a little bit of paint, just a minute. I'm really nitpicking, just trying to find something to criticise. The main dashboard, all the pixelation's absolutely spot on. Multifunction steering wheel, again, all the paint on all the switches, all still there and all in good order. Temperature gauge is looking at about just under half there, which I'd imagine for a Saab would be exactly where you want it to be. But every gauge is working really well. It drives very, very, very nicely. Trying to think if there's anything more really kind of to add, but I can't think of a great deal. Clearly, if I've missed anything on the video, as short as it may well be, you know, I do apologise. Don't hesitate, do give us a call. We'll be able to sort of check anything out for you. But, you know, based on the drive I've had in the vehicle thus far and previously, it does drive genuinely really very, very nice indeed. And don't for a second think that I just sort of tick boxes on this video or these videos. If you've seen any of my previous ones, which you may not have done for obvious reasons, you'll know that if there's something to criticise on it, I will, and I will be honest about it. But you know, as I said, I genuinely can't find anything on this car that would make me do anything other than thoroughly recommend it.